The following lesson is linked to Learning Outcome 1, Speaking and Listening, and addresses the assessment standard that needs learners to show planning and research skills for oral presentations. Learners should be able to research a topic by referring to a range of sources with assistance. Hi, I'm Charlotte. Public speaking is hard and scary, but once you have learned to do it, you will have learned a skill that will last you for the rest of your life. It also is an important part of the job market. So whether you love or hate it, public speaking is something that you will have to do as part of your English studies at school. What do most students think when their teacher tells them they need to prepare a speech to present in their class?
I love speech making because I've got great communication skills and I'm a good speaker and I get good marks for my speech and everything.
I love speech making because you express what you have to say, but it also makes me nervous because it's especially like a big crowd, you get nervous, but like in a class it's wonderful because you just like to say what you want to say.
The thing that I don't like about making speeches is because I'm shy, I'm nervous, and speeches, they take so much time, and I don't like talking like in general. I don't like talking to people.
Yeah, I love speech making because you get to express yourself in many issues, many different topics, and I think once, like, when you start, you're nervous, but as soon as you get used to it, you can just do it easily.
The only problem is that it makes me very, very nervous. But I think once I get into the flow of speaking, it just gets more and more easier and it makes it easier for me to interact with the people. And I've got my secrets of looking at the wall and pretend as if I'm looking at the people while I'm actually looking over the people.
I love speech making because it depends on the topics. It makes you think of, maybe when it's things based on life or whatever. But the only problem is that you get nervous. So I also love it because I'm confident I can speak, in a crowd of people.
I hate making speeches because you have to prepare and you have to speak in front of a crowd, and that makes me very nervous. And I hate speeches because you have to read cue cards in front of the teachers or in front of the crowd, and speaking to people that I don't know is really something different, and it makes me scared and nervous, so I hate making speeches.
I hate speech making because you just have to go in front of the class and like people looking at you, and sometimes you get butterflies in your stomach and like stutter sometimes because you just hate speech making.
If you have seen our lessons on oral communication, you will remember that we have already looked at one aspect of speaking and listening, the more casual kind we have when we talk to each other every day. In this series, we will find out how to speak formally in front of an audience. Here are the outcomes for this lesson. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to choose a topic for a prepared speech. In the other lessons, you will learn how to write an introduction and conclusion for your speech, how to include your ideas and those of others, and how to use references and visual aids. Then, once we have got our speeches written, we will work on how to deliver them. This area of English is important as it teaches you many valuable life skills and, as I've just said, it also forms an important part of the job market. For examples, teachers definitely need to be good at public speaking. Also, people in business often have to sell their ideas by presenting them to others. And if you want to work in the media industry, you will have to learn to speak well in public. But right now, the most important thing for you to remember is that your ability to speak well is a life skill, and it also helps you improve your marks in English. Before we start, I want you to meet Palesa and hear about the challenges she faces with writing speeches.
Hi, I'm Palesa. I go to Sebokeng Secondary. My problem is making speeches. It scares me. I always feel like I'm going to make a complete fool of myself. I can't believe people actually join public speaking and debating teams for fun. It's like standing in front of a firing squad. I'm sure plenty of you guys feel the same way.
You are absolutely right. Many people, not just students, don't have the confidence to speak in public. So let's get started by asking the experts what topic makes a good speech. We spoke to Douglas Kruger of the Toastmasters.
Well, Toastmasters is a brilliant organization. It's almost 100 years old. It was started in California and it's all about public speaking. The way that it works is this. Groups of people in about 20 or 30 get together and they do speeches and they get feedback on the speeches they do. There are 3 things you should always remember when you're putting together a speech. Let's start with the first one, your introduction. It's extremely important. Now, why is the intro so important? Well, quite simply, you may have put together a brilliant speech, but if you don't get the audience's attention in the first few seconds, you've lost them. So start with a strong opening. One of the things we always do wrong in our introductions is we tend to be nervous, and we get up there and we rush. We'll say the first few sentences very quickly. Try and fight that urge. Slow down. Decide what your opening sentence is going to be and make it a good one. Then get up there and very calmly, in a good strong voice, deliver that opening sentence. The audience is still listening to your voice and getting used to you, so give them a little bit of time. When you do a strong, confident introduction, you'll actually feel better, and the rest of the speech will go well from there. The second thing to remember, as you get into the body of your speech, is to tell stories. Now, why would I say that? Because we're very tempted when we write speeches just to script all of the information. But the thing is, people don't always take that information in. It's more easily remembered if you tell stories. Give examples. Paint pictures with your words. People remember the visuals that they can see in their minds. They remember the stories you tell. So as you're putting your speech together, try and tell stories that make your point. The third thing to remember is to have a good, strong closing. This is the most important part of the entire speech. A lot of people will do a very good speech and kind of fade out at the end. What you need to do is use a call to action. That may sound very technical, but it's actually quite simple. It just means tell the audience what you want them to do. Perhaps you just want them to think in a new way, or perhaps you want them to go out and take up some cause. Whatever it is, when you get to the end, use a call to action and tell the audience what you want from them. That's a great, strong way to close your speech. When people are writing their speeches, they often wonder if there are any topics that they should stay away from. Well, the way that I look at it is this. Every speech has a point. It has an objective. You never just get up and say a few words. You should always know why you're speaking. If your purpose is to sell something, then that's the point you should be making. If your purpose is to lead a class or a business, that's the point that you should be making. So always consider what the end goal of your speech is. If you're going to offend someone by using a particular type of humor, or perhaps referring to race or sex or gender, something like that, then rather leave it out. But these things can be included as long as it actually helps you to make your point. Do it tactfully. Don't pick on people. You don't want to offend your audience. The best person to pick on in any speech is yourself. People actually enjoy it if you're able to use humor at your own expense. Just a few jokes here and there. If you have to pick on someone in a speech, use your humor with yourself. The audience will love you for it.
Mr. Kruger made some very interesting points. Firstly, that choosing a topic is very important, but secondly, that the way you approach the topic is just as important. Now, your teacher might give you a list of topics to choose from, or you might be left to choose one for yourself. Either way, choosing a good topic is a first step towards improving your oral marks. So, whether you get to choose your own topic or choose one from a list, always ask yourself these questions. Is your topic relevant? Will you and the audience find your topic interesting? And are there different points of view to your topic? Let's explore these ideas a little. Firstly, is your topic relevant? The topic you choose must be important to both your audience and you. For example, talking to students about the difficulties of getting older means very little, but issues such as drug abuse, career choices, and dating are all important. Next, will your topic be interesting to you and your audience? The idea here is that you need to be interested in what you want to say. Ideally, you should spend some time researching your topic, so when you choose something to talk about, you may as well choose something you're interested in. Also, if you are talking about something you are passionate about, your enthusiasm will show and your audience is more likely to be more involved with what you have to say. And always remember, when writing your speech, don't repeat a lot of general information that everybody already knows. Try to find some new and interesting facts and statistics that will show you know your topic and that will keep your audience informed and interested. Lastly, does your topic present different points of view? It is a good idea to talk about something which people have strong ideas on. If your topic is controversial, such as bringing back the death penalty, you are likely to find a lot of different viewpoints that can be presented. So, Palesa, are you ready to start working on your speech?
Absolutely. I'm feeling really positive that this will help me change my attitude towards public speaking.
Great. Now let's start by looking at the topics you have to choose from.
My topics are: my pet, car allowances should not be used as a form of tax relief, modern music is nothing but noise, South Africa's new democracy, future space missions are a waste of money.
Well, Palesa, which one of these do you know something about, and which one will your classmates find interesting?
Well, when it comes to car allowances, I don't really know how they work, and my friends aren't exactly business executives, so I don't think that one would work. The rest are quite interesting. After all, we all like music and have different ideas of what music we like, so that might be a good one. I think the topic of space is fascinating, but it might be too difficult to research, so I'll leave that one out. I think my puppy Spike is a wonderful subject, and I could spend hours bragging about him. But I must admit it could be boring for my classmates to sit through all of that. That leaves the topic of South Africa's democracy. I'm really passionate about South Africa, and as a young adult, I feel that we have interesting ideas about our country, but we don't often get to express our opinions. So South Africa's new democracy is the one I'm going to choose.
Okay, now let's see if it meets the criteria on our list. First, do you think your topic is relevant?
Well, as young adults, we often feel that other people think that we take democracy for granted and that we're not interested in the past. But as citizens of the country, we do know and care about what happens.
Well, I know you're interested in the topic, but do you think your audience will find the topic interesting?
Well, my class are mostly the children of South Africa's new democracy, so I think everyone will feel that it is relevant.
I agree. Now on to our last question. Do you think your topic presents different points of view?
Definitely. There is the point of view of people who see South African democracy in a negative way, but there are others who are positive about it.
Well, Palesa has chosen her topic, and over the rest of this series, we will help her turn it into a speech. But right now, it is time for you to do something. Choose a topic to write a 3-minute prepared speech on. Now, I'm not going to give you a list of topics to choose from. You must find one of your own. But I do want you to keep in mind the criteria we learnt about in this lesson. Is your topic relevant? Will you and the audience find your topic interesting? And are there different points of view to your topic? As we go through this series, we will help you to develop your topic into a speech. So make sure that your topic is interesting, relevant, and has different points of view. So good luck, and join me next time when we will start writing our speeches. Until then, goodbye.